Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to set up full screen and wireless Android Auto. So with this, it's going to bring feature parity between CarPlay and Android Auto, because up until now the only way Android Auto could work with the Z-Link app is if you plugged it in with a wire, and then even if you did that, it would only work half screen. So I'll show you what I mean. So you'll see here, it'll say waiting. There you go, connected. But it only takes up half your screen with the rest of the screen being blank. So I didn't like that. I wanted to do it full screen, and I wanted to do it without having to plug in my phone. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So a couple of things. First of all, this app that I'm going to show you is not free. You do have to buy it in the Play Store. I live in Canada, so for me it was $6.50 Canadian, which is, a very reasonable price given that I paid over $1,000 Canadian for this unit, $950 US. The other thing to remember is I'm going to show you how this unit works for the Mark III with Android 9. So my screen is 1080p, so it's 1920 by 1080. If you have a Mark II or Mark I or some different screen, maybe you have a different car, you don't have an Infiniti Q50 like I do, the settings for you are going to be different, and you're just going to have to play around with them until you figure it out. Like that's what I had to do. So I'll just show you the settings that worked for me on my car, but they're unfortunately going to be different for different screens. So if you don't have a Mark III with Android 9, these settings might be different for you. So with that, let's go ahead and I'll show you what to do. So go into your apps, go to the Google Play Store, and download. Right, so make sure that you're connected to Wi-Fi. Here, I'm just gonna give my car a Wi-Fi signal. Just a second here. I'm just gonna go here and turn on my hotspot, and then just make sure that on the unit itself Wi-Fi is actually turned on. So once both of those are gonna turn on, there we go. It connected. So you'll see that that Wi-Fi icon here. So let's go ahead and press retry. Okay, so now we have an internet connection, and the app that we're looking for is called Head Unit Reloaded. That's the app that we want, and we want to make sure that we get the full one, not the trial. Guys, I will tell you right now, if you get the trial, you are not going to be able to have it work in full screen. So don't post telling me, oh, I tried the trial before I bought it and full screen didn't work. Yes, full screen is not going to work with the trial. You have to actually go ahead and buy it. So for me, I already purchased it, so I'm just going to go ahead and press install. So it'll download it for me. There it is. All right. So once that's downloaded, go ahead and click Apps, and there's Head Unit Reloaded. So go ahead and launch that. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is it's going to ask you for a whole bunch of permissions. So just very carefully make sure you allow all the permissions that it needs, because if you don't, some wonky things are going to start happening. Just certain things will randomly not work. Now on this screen, again, if you have the Mark III with Android 9, what you want to set it to is 1920 by 1080, and the pixel density you want to set it to about 110, and you can change that later, but that's what you're going to want to set it to, and then press Start Test. So in the test, you'll see did it show you a video, and the video just kind of looks like these mountains over here. So if you saw the mountains, press yes. If you just saw a black screen, just do the test again. Eventually you'll see the mountains. If you don't see it, if you have a different unit, for example, and you're not seeing the mountains, try turning on the software decoding. But for the Mark III, you shouldn't need that. And then just go ahead and press done. So then it'll tell you that it needs one more permission. So go ahead and press OK and allow it to modify system settings. Go back, get out of that, and just relaunch head unit reloaded. And there you go. So the first thing you're going to see on this screen is that you have 6 buttons. 2 of them are hidden behind this kind of top bar here. That's fine, that's normal. The developer tells me that in the next version he might actually fix it so that the bars don't hide the settings, but in this version it sort of is what it is. The first thing you're going to need to do is go into settings. And just make sure that all the settings are set properly. So the resolution, we've already set it to 1920 by 1080. Pixel density, we've set to 110. Right-hand drive, if you live in the UK, Australia, Japan, or somewhere else where they use right-hand drive, just go ahead and flip that on. HUD mirroring you don't need. So the most important settings are these. So make sure that overscan is on. Set your margin adjustment. The margin adjustment, by the way, is to make sure that no part of Android Auto is hidden behind your top and your bottom bar. So the setting that works for me is 390 top and bottom. So go ahead and press save, and then the vertical touch adjust. That's because we've adjusted the margins to account for these bars. You need to make sure that the touches are lined up with the actual screen. So again, the vertical touch adjust that works for me is -50. So just go ahead and press enter -50 and press OK. You don't need to do the horizontal touch adjust. You can just leave that at 0 because we're not actually changing anything horizontally. We're just changing vertically to account for these bars. That is it for now. We're gonna, there is 2 more settings. Adjust mic gain for the for the Mark III, once again for the Infiniti. I had to set it to 4, and again you can play with that. You can do what you will with it. Just how much of your voice the internal microphone is going to pick up. And then enable speed sensitive volume control. I actually turned that off because when I was using Android Auto and I was driving around, every time I would stop at a light, my volume would go down, and it was very sort of jarring, and I find that it didn't really work for me. So for me, I decided to turn that off. So for now, there's nothing else that you need to do here. In fact, nothing else you should do here. What you should do now is go back and actually test to make sure that it works. And the easiest way to test to make sure that it works is to actually completely get out of head unit reloaded by pressing this button. And then take your USB cord and plug it into your phone. So if you're having trouble, with head unit reloaded recognizing your phone and connecting to Android Auto, just make sure that the Z-Link app is not running in the background. So if you got the Z-Link app running, even if it's in this screen, Android Auto is not going to know which program to connect to. So just hit home, press this top button up here, and just swipe away both Z-Link Auto and head unit reloaded. So then try to connect your phone with the USB cable here. There we go. And then it'll come up. Do you want head unit reloaded to handle Pixel 2? Just press OK, and then press OK and OK again, and it'll come right up. So this is what full screen Android Auto looks like. You know, it works. It's really nice. You will see that there's still some black bars at the top and the bottom. You can make those go away by setting the margins. So I set them to 390. You can set them to 350 or 320 just to try and make these bars go away. But I caution you that if you do that, your phone app is just not going to work. It'll just do that. It'll do this. So what you'll want is, you know, if you want all your apps to work properly, you have to set it to lower than 390. So try, you know, 380, 375. You know, try. You'll have to set it higher than 390. So try 400. Try, you know, maybe 410. So you'll get a bit more of these black bars, but all your apps are going to work. And the reason that the phone app, for example, crashes, it just crashes because it can't scale to a vertical head unit. This is not the app's fault. It's not Head Unit Reloaded's fault. This is Google just, you know, didn't program the phone app properly. So if there's any Android Auto apps that you're using that aren't working for you, just play around with the margin settings. So once you have everything set up, what you're going to want to do, and I should say, the phone app working isn't really a big deal because you can use Google Assistant to make phone calls and they are going to work. So you can invoke Google with either this microphone or this magic word that everybody knows, you know, OK followed by the word Google, you know, and then you can say call whoever it is that you want to call, and it will call. It'll give you a phone down here, you know, with a hang up button, so you can fully use it. The only thing that you can't do is you can't dial numbers. So if you're calling into an automated system that requires you to like press 1 or whatever, you're not going to be able to do that. So in that case, just play with the margins, make this screen a little bit narrower, but then the phone app is going to work. And I can show you guys, by the way, how to do that. So just go ahead and unplug your phone, go back to apps, go to Head Unit Reloaded, go back into settings, go to margin adjustment, you know, and instead of 390 you can do, for example, you know, 410, let's say, save, you know, and then go back once again, get out of this, go ahead and plug your phone in, press OK, and then press OK and OK again, and it should come right up. And then just go there, go to phone, and you'll see it still doesn't work. So anyway, you'll need to play around with it to make sure that it works for you, and whatever it is. I'm gonna try one more thing on this car, and that's going back into Head Unit Reloaded, go into here, set instead of setting the margin adjustment, I'm actually going to set the pixel density, instead of 110, set it to, let's say, 130. Let's see what that does. Go ahead and press OK. Let's just get out of this app. It's just easier that way. Go ahead and plug your phone in. Press OK. OK. All right. Let's do that. And there it is. Yeah, now phone works. So you can go ahead and dial a number. So there you go, about 410 display offset and then 130 pixel density, and then everything works. So you'll see Google Maps works. If you go back, Waze works for those who are so inclined. So that's all fine, and you can see that it sort of takes up most of the screen. It's nice and sharp, so everything works. So then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make it work wirelessly. Once you got it working perfectly with the USB, and all your pixel density and margin offsets are set properly, and all the apps that you want to work, the next thing you need to do is make it work wirelessly. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug that, and I'm going to actually get rid of the Head Unit Reloaded app. So go back into Head Unit Reloaded, go into Settings, and scroll down. Scroll all the way down to Listen to Incoming Connection. Now, you will want to make sure that before you turn this on, you will want to make sure that all the rest of the settings are properly set. And I can you know, when I take you through it. So resolution is 1080p, 1920 by 1080, sorry. Pixel density is 130. HUD mirroring is off, notification bar is on, overscan is on, margin adjustment is 410, vertical touch adjust is -50, horizontal touch adjust is 0, day-night calculation method, again, you can play around with it. If you find that for example, Google Maps is not going into night mode when it's dark, or in the garage or whatever, you can try light sensor, you can try calculated sunrise, sunset, whatever it is that works for you. Enable audio sync should be on, otherwise, otherwise Android Auto is not going to be able to output audio. Microphone input source set to voice recognition, sampling rate set to 16,000, buffering set to auto, mic gain set to 4, speed sensitive volume control, it's up to you how you want to do it. I turned it off. GPS sharing's on, fake speed reporting is on, and then listen for incoming connection is on. And then the first time you turn it on, it'll tell you that your access point cannot be configured automatically, and it needs a specific name and password. And if you don't do this, wireless isn't going to work. So just go ahead and press continue. So go into a Wi-Fi hotspot, and just make sure that the hotspot name is set to HUR, which stands for Head Unit Reloaded, and the hotspot password is set to Android Auto Connect. Just watch the capitalization and press OK. So let's get out of this now, and go back into Head Unit Reloaded. And you'll see once you go back into Head Unit Reloaded, you won't be able to access the settings anymore. The button to access the settings is actually hidden behind this bar. Again, this will be fixed in the next version, but this is why I was stressing that it's so important to make sure that you set all your settings before you set wireless. So once you've set that up, you actually need to turn to your phone and set up an app to do that, and then I'll show you guys how to set that up on your phone. All right, so I'm now at my Android phone, and so here we're going to need to download a little helper app. So just go to the Play Store and type in an app called Wi-Fi Launcher. Press search, and this over here is the app that you're going to want. So just go ahead and install it. And once it installs, just press open. And then you're going to see that it asks you for some permission. So just make sure that you allow access to device location and that it's always allowed. And then if you have Android 10, you'll have to give it one more permission. So just go ahead and press OK and grant it the permission. So the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to have to select which Bluetooth adapter is going to trigger the connection to Head Unit Reloaded. So on mine, I've got two relevant potential adapters. I got Vitali's Q50, which is my InTouch system, and I've got the Q50 Mk3, which is my Mark III. If you're not connecting your phone to the Mark III, just select the one that's your InTouch. If you're going to be connecting to the Mark III, select the one that's the Mark III. And if you're going to be connecting to both, just select either one. You cannot select both. So if I... oh, sorry, you can select both, but don't select both because that's going to cause all kinds of problems. So just go ahead and press OK. And when you're done with that, just press exit. And then over here, just go ahead and disable Bluetooth just by pressing the Bluetooth button. And that's it. Now we're going back to the car. So once you have the app set up on your Android phone, just go ahead and connect your Android phone to the Bluetooth, whichever Bluetooth device you need. And once you do that, you'll see that it actually, magic will start to happen. But you do have to be a little patient and give it a minute to properly connect. And there it is. So right now this is a fully wireless connection. You can see my phone is not actually connected to anything, but it's running Android Auto. And everything works. So you can go ahead and play music. If you click out of here and into the phone, which was our problem child app, phone works. The assistant works. I'm not going to test it right now, but it does work. So everything works like a champ. The one thing I will tell you is if you're under quarantine and you're doing this sitting in your driveway, you will notice at some point that everything's just going to freeze. And the reason it does that is because your Android phone is probably catching the wireless signal from your house, your home Wi-Fi signal. And because your home Wi-Fi signal has internet, whereas the signal coming from the unit does not, your Android phone is automatically going to prefer your home signal and disconnect from the unit, which will cause this whole thing to freeze up. So what I did is I am actually sitting in my driveway, but I went into my into the Wi-Fi settings on my phone, and I actually forgot my home network for the purposes of testing this. If you're driving around doing this, or if you're somewhere where there is no known Wi-Fi network, it's not going to drop out. So if you're wondering why you're getting dropouts on your driveway, that's why. I think that's about it, guys. So like I said, the program's not free, but it's well worth the $6. The developer is great. He's actually been working with me on figuring out the issues for why the phone app wasn't working, and also the issues around settings not being available, being hidden behind these bars. So that's all coming in the next version. It is going to get fixed. It might be a few weeks before the next version rolls out. But in the meantime, the current version is perfectly usable. It's great. Everything works like a charm. So, and because of the microphone gain, I should add, if you're making calls with your Android phone, the people on the other end are going to hear you much more clearly than if you were just using the the built-in Bluetooth on the phone. There is one other thing I need to show you guys. Sorry, two other things I need to show you guys, and that's in the settings in order to make all of this work properly. So I'm actually just going to get out of this. The easiest way to get out of this, by the way, is just to turn off your car. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to turn off my car. And then your phone disconnects. And if you don't want your phone to automatically connect, just go ahead and turn off. Oh, it's very sunny. Just go ahead and turn off Bluetooth. So then your phone won't automatically connect to Android Auto. So let me just start up my car again, and then I'll show you guys what you need to do in the settings in order to make sure that all of this works properly. So go into settings. Sorry, if you're getting a little bit of glare, it's because it's just got very sunny. Go into settings. Go into, I think it's user settings. Make sure that Android Auto, Car Auto Apple setting is set to mobile connection, and Car Android Auto is set to mobile connection. But this run Car Auto when your phone is connected, make sure that is set to off. If it's on, the Z-Link app is going to run automatically when you connect your cable or you connect to Bluetooth, and you're just going to get all kinds of problems. So just make sure that this is set to off. And once again, if you're trying to use Head Unit Reloaded, just make sure that the Z-Link app is not running in the background, and just press this button and make sure that it's not sort of running anywhere here. And if it is, just kind of swipe it away. So that's the first thing you need to do. And then the other thing you need to make sure is that if you're going to be using Android Auto for calls, that you're not going to have the Bluetooth call window taking up half your screen. And the way to do that is to go into settings, more settings, apps and notifications, see all apps, go to the Bluetooth app, go to advanced, and then display. You'll see display over other apps. Just make sure that's set to not allowed, right? So it's set like, again, the sun. Make sure it's set, make sure it's set like this. So not like this, but like this. That will stop the Bluetooth window from popping up. Note that it also means that it won't pop up if you get a call, but if you're driving around in Android Auto, it'll pop up there. So that's I think that's it, guys. So good luck. Let me know if you have any trouble with the app. You really shouldn't. It's a great app, and it works wonders for me. But if you have any questions or comments, just leave a comment below. Thanks.